Nuvo isn't that new. 2. We're going to hear more about race, culture, religion that seem to be unique to this planet. Also, sticking together helps you gain power. And warriors without a war. Welcome to the New Spirit Radio Show by the Society of Novus Spiritus, founded by world-renowned spiritual teacher Sylvia Browne. I just remembered we needed a date, July 30th of 2025. Wow, things go when you're having fun. Coming to you live from California, both NorCal and SoCal, are your hosts Reverend Tom Bigley and Reverend Catherine Taylor, playing audio segments we call Messages from Spirit. Why? Helping you answer the fundamental question, what are we here for?
These segments are recorded trance sessions from Francine, Sylvia's spirit guide. So for new people, Sylvia was a full trance medium, which means Sylvia contracted to let her and Francine's essences exchange places in Sylvia's body. And we think of our bodies being similar to a car. One driver gets out and another driver gets in. And this allowed Francine to share spiritual knowledge with us directly from the other side.
On occasion, another master teacher and healer, a guide named Rahim, would exchange with Sylvia and present us with spiritual information as well. Francine and Rahim shared directly from sources like the Akashic Records, Mother and Father God, our spirit guides when they wanted to help, Christ, and many others.
And then meanwhile, during trance, Sylvia would sit on a nice bench in a rose garden on the other side.
And here are our hosts, Reverend Catherine Taylor and Reverend Tom Bigley.
Hello, how are you?
Howdy. And howdy to all of you watching, listening. Glad you all made it. Yes, doing well. Excited to be here. Yes, I was recalling how I was saying that this is a job. It's just got to get done. Well, yeah, it's sometimes fun too. I wanted to share with new people. Glad you all made it. And wanted to give a quick outline or quick agenda so you have an idea. Why does this go so long? Well, we'd like to start out with a few announcements. Then we get into a favorite segment we call How Did You Use Novus Spiritus Philosophy? And for those of you that are familiar, start writing. Let's see, special prayers. Well, that's followed by special prayers and a moment of silence. Then we get into, yes, we have 3 trance segments tonight. That's followed by a meditation that's typically by Sylvia. I'll get into some closing notes like about liking and subscribing. Then wait for it. Yeah, wait for it. A little bit later, we have a special prayer ceremony we call a novena. That's followed by appreciation, and then we conclude with a prayer by Sylvia. Also, then get your comment and post it in the video as later on. Tell us what you think about what you heard. What did this do for you at the end? And I like to click on those and get them shown across the bottom of the screen. I see what we're supposed to be doing. I'm going to attempt at lighting a candle. By all means, if wherever you're at, it's an appropriate thing, light a candle, or, if you have one of those little fancy flickery things, turn that on as well.
Love it.
I hope it stays lit this time. Anyway, let's see. Quick announcements here. Oh, welcome to all the new subscribers and followers. Great that you're adding on to what we're providing. That way it gets out to other people as well. Yes. Also, are you getting any benefit from this content? Would you like to help pay it forward and help promote this content? On Facebook, if you would share, like, and follow. And on YouTube, if you'd subscribe, give a thumbs up, and click on the bell. And even leave comments. That helps too. Also, if you'd like to donate, we do take credit cards, Venmo, and PayPal. You can go to the website and get those sign up, or just pay through the website. In addition, we are set up with Zelle, which is a money transfer system that's organized by the major banks. And you can send funds via office@novus.org. I typically will send, when I find a new place to send funds to, I typically will send $2 or $5 and then verify that it got sent. And then from there, it's set up. Let's see. Oh, events. The next show, because I don't recall if Francine mentions it here, but next show, to put you on the edge of your seat, is Raheem. We will be hearing, I don't want to say the first time that he's been on, but it's the first to be in this series, in this, the trance series system that we've been listening to for so many years. So that's exciting to hear about. And also, if you want to grow and build a better spiritual future, a reading with Chris Dufresne can help. Just like planting a tree, the best time to start was in the past, but the next time is
today.
That's right, now.
Right now. Mm-hmm.
So grow your spiritual journey today with a reading from Chris. Also, don't miss out on Chris's question specials with an email notification. How? You can go to his website and put your email in. You should get notifications. Facebook users. Facebook is going to delete videos after 30 days. It's their new policy that's been notifying people of that post things like we do. That's unfortunate. YouTube, however, is going to continue to host these for us here for I don't know how long. But all that we've done is still available to review. Second, to be seen in chat. Facebook users, if you want your name showing up in chat, you need to go to into the description and click on the permissions. There's a link in the descriptions, and if you go and follow the link, click on it, and accept their permissions, then your name shows up. I don't know why. That's just the Facebook policy. Also, let me know in the comments, because I haven't heard, I haven't heard if that's just a one-time thing or if you need to do it every time. Let's see. We got through that. Now's our fun segment. How did you use Novus Spiritus philosophy last week? I like to offer a cat. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Do you want to look up on the comments, or do you want to do Rochambeau?
I'll volunteer to go first today.
All right.
I want to give a shout out to Sylvia, a Sylvia prediction that I have had as a little earworm in my mind for years. And it was a prediction that it would become a lot more commonplace to treat mood and depression and anxiety and things like that, to treat it with the magnetic stimulation, where you just come in and you come into a doctor's office and they just like put a wand up next to your head, and then that goes on for 20 minutes, and then you go on your way. So she wrote about that in her predictions, that would be one of the most common and effective, just like godsend miracle treatments for mood imbalances, and that eventually it would get so advanced that it would be an entire like wanding, waving system that would detect any sort of places that were being understimulated, and just would turn into just a miraculous gift to the mental health of all of us.
Yeah.
So it was it was like a little earworm, because the long COVID thing has just been such an interesting thing to deal with, a really annoying trial that I'm ready to have in the rearview mirror. So a year ago, I started asking my doctors, like, what would I need to do to try out this treatment that is available, pretty commonplace now. It's called TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation. I've been reading, so I think my spirit guide was kind of nudging me, because I kept like remembering that prediction. I was like, I wonder if that's out and around yet. And so I just started, long story short, I just started TMS after a year of kind of like preparing for it, because sometimes you have to go through hurdles with your insurance and whatnot. And they want you to have something that they call in the office treatment-resistant depression, which is you've been through at least 2 antidepressants and you're still struggling. And it was very, very simple to get to actually like meet that qualification once we finally got there.
Yeah.
And because I tried so many things after catching COVID, and I'm like, and I was just so adamant with my psychiatrist that I was talking to. I was like, I am not back to where I was. I am not back to normal yet. I just need to be completely honest. I'm not back to where I'm at, where I've been in the past. And they were very, very sweet and nice. And they're like, okay, well, it seems like you'd be a great candidate. We'll start you in August. I'm like, all right. So I've been waiting all summer to start. So I had now 4 sessions. You go, what the treatment looks like is you go 5 days a week. So once a day, like Monday through Friday, and you do that for 5 weeks. And that is a time commitment.
Yeah.
Time commitment. But I can already report that after 5 sessions, I have significantly less anxiety, and I've got significantly more energy and much more clarity of mind. So the brain fog that's associated with long COVID, it's so much less after just 5 sessions. So I am really, really excited, and I just wanted to give it a plug. If anyone out there is struggling with like, oh man, why am I just not getting better? This is something that you should talk to your doctor about, because it's something that Sylvia predicted would start being around. And this has been researched. Again, treatment's called TMS. It's been researched since 2008. So it's been around for a while. And what it feels like is this, they just place this kind of like plastic thing against your head, just like this, and then it's out pulses that feels like a woodpecker is pecking on your head. Just
wow.
It really does feel like something is going just like that. It doesn't hurt, and you just get used to it, and you sit there for 20 minutes, and then you go about your day. So
wow,
that's what I used of Novus philosophy. I give kudos to my spirit guides for the reminder, because I kept thinking I was like, man, I wonder if anything's been done with that. Yeah, it turns out there's a whole thing, and it is becoming a lot more available, and insurance, a lot of insurances do cover it now. So
wow,
ta-da!
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's something I know some people. I have a friend that might want to be interested. Not just me.
Exactly.
I mean,
I've got a friend. I've got a pal.
I can think of a few people that could benefit from that. That sounds like fun just to try it out, and that's unique because Raheem's the one that told us about the magnets, using the magnets on ourselves. And I'm like, hello, when you started talking about that, mine are sitting right here, and they've been stuck there since the last time I used them. We talked about them on the show. Mm-hmm. So that's like, oh, okay, great. Now, I haven't made an appointment to use them. That's what maybe the problem is. Anyway, but that sounds exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see where this goes. And here's the thing. You can, even if you're kind of like flirt with depression sometimes, I think we've all been there where they're just like, oh man, today's a drag. But sometimes you can get yourself out of it. But here's the thing. You can't trick yourself to get out of anxiety. And like at least for me, like I cannot if I'm in a full blown okay, we are so anxious that this isn't even this is just anxious misery. But the amount of relief that I've had in just a couple sessions has just been remarkable. So so it can also be used. There's a lot of like side effects. The main treatment that it's FDA approved for is depression and OCD, I believe. And then there's also like additional benefits if you have like generalized anxiety or panic or PTSD even. So there's a lot of just a lot of things that they're finding we can use this for a lot, which is again ties into Sylvia's prediction that they're going to be able to find and treat like all sorts of things with this kind of wanding and scanning system that is coming in the future.
What? How many facilities did you research? I mean, how did you find a facility that's providing that?
So my insurance is through the Kaiser system, and which is an HMO.
Really?
Yes. Yes, it's in the
Oh,
Kaiser system.
I'm gonna have
It
to
was
insult.
super easy to get into, but I had to do some poking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because so am I. I'm thinking. My first thought is no, they don't. They're
Yeah.
not gonna do something like that.
No,
Anyway,
they
that's
do.
just my experience. But
They
hey,
do.
that's fun to know and
Yeah.
look into.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
talking to the nurses and the doctors and whatnot, and they're like, "No, we have seen miracles just from this. Like
Wow.
the amount of relief like that people get from this. It can be permanent relief, or it can be like someone can be in a really, really, really bad state and they come
Yeah.
out of it, or it
Yeah.
can be like they never need help ever again.
Yeah.
It's just
Wow.
the doctor himself was just like, no, we've seen absolute miracles with this technology. So
Cool.
really interesting. Yeah. Keep you posted.
All
What
right.
about you, Tom? How have you been doing with using Novus philosophy over the last week?
I did my homework.
Ooh, lovely.
Occasionally, yeah. Recently, it's been occasionally I'll be reading a book before bed to get me to wind down and be ready to sleep. Well, I've been reading the Book of Dreams, Sylvia's Book of Dreams. The chapter on archetypes. The dream, she's writing writing about a dream that somebody wrote in with. It says the dream of a 3-story house with splintered floors. The center of the house has a large square opening, meaning you can. There's like 3 floors in the house, and you can see from top to bottom because it's like a open space in the center. In the books, I'm making sure I read everything here. Oh, and no stairs. So all the floors are segregated from each other. The dreamer was on the top floor looking down at visitors downstairs. In the book, Sylvia recommends for the next dream, add a staircase and see the dreamer going down going down to meet the guests,
Oh, how
and
interesting.
see the guests coming up to meet the dreamer. And I thought, holy cow, that's I hadn't put those pieces together before. I hadn't thought about putting all those pieces together before. And let's see. Yeah, I've never thought of that. The stairs and the guests coming up to meet me. It's not just going down to meet the guests, but they're coming up to meet you. I think that's a significant, how do you say, I think that's psychologically helpful in that you're not just going out to meet others, others are willing to come and meet you. That puts an impression on my mind anyway, if not yours.
Yeah.
Then, and where does this apply? Well, I feel being I wrote here. I feel insecure being friendship challenged. I was recently sharing that I grew up distrusting friends because of their dishonesty or bullying, and visualizing the stairs and guests coming up to meet me should rebuild my confidence. And the visual that came to my mind, because I like to throw ideas and build on visualizations. It's like in the Titanic when at the end of the movie the elderly Rose passes away, and then it fades into the young Jack meeting the young Rose on the elegant stairway in the Titanic. And I thought, oh, well, there's a really unique visual of,
It is unique.
connecting the floors, as it were. A nice stairway. Make it elegant. Make it elaborate. When you're, thinking of visuals to bring to mind, and that helps. I think that helps the way you perceive things, the way you perceive the world. Helps your
I agree.
subconscious.
Absolutely.
So that was a fun, like,
That's
oh, another
cool.
puzzle piece
Yeah.
that connects more puzzle
Love
pieces.
it.
That was mine.
That is fantastic. Very, very cool. I don't think I own even a digital copy of her Book of Dreams, but now you've got me very interested. So I'm gonna look at my collection and see what I'm missing. And
All right.
it's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, Looking over at the comments, your fantastic comments. I'm so happy to see everyone. Quick shout outs. I've got Reverend Cass is here. Hello. Hope you're doing fabulous. I see Kaija, Aaron, Tangela, Carmita, Dee, Carolyn, Jorge, Esteban, Cheryl, Ramona, Kaija. I think I just said Joni, Tanya. Oh, it's hi. It's so nice that you're all here. Kristen, Gardens. Oh man, we've got lots of friends. Michelle, tons of friends here today. That's amazing. Okay.
But who's commenting?
I know. I got so excited seeing everyone. Oh no. I got so excited. All right. So a couple questions. Tangela says, Kat, did you feel dizzy after or during the treatment? No, I did not feel dizzy. I felt calmer and at the same time felt more energy for like getting stuff done through my day. So that was cool. Gardens shares, I saw a lot of birds flying over the houses close to our backyard, and I think it means there's a lot of spirits visiting and watching over us. That's lovely. And Ramona also shares, I want to thank everyone for prayers for my mom. She did get released from the hospital. Ongoing prayers for her. That's marvelous. Michelle says, Kat, I have had a big aha moment, remembering that Sylvia said during the book of the End of Days that she would be there would be an uprise in communism due to our Supreme Courts. And look how right she was. That is interesting. I'm going to have to reread that because I'm blanking on that part, but there's so many things that are happening right now. I like completely agree. There's so many things happening right now that are very like almost like word for word analogous to what Sylvia predicted for this time period.
And what can we do with that if people get concerned with that? Mm-hmm. I think of it as what Chris was saying. Yes, this has happened. There seems to be a lot of chaos. However, these actions should promote some great changes.
Yes.
So at first it's going to seem
point. Yes.
At first it's going to seem chaotic. However, keep in mind the future is going to have some benefits. What those are, I don't know. But that's what I keep in mind is there's something going to evolve from this that's going to be beneficial to all of us.
Mm-hmm. You know, what came to mind was kind of seeing some of the challenges that that America is having specifically. Is I was thinking about a trance series that was talking about Diana's passing and the way that Princess Diana, the way that they talked about it during the trance was that family and everyone in that family like knew that there was going to be some death, and it wasn't so when Harry and William incarnated, they knew that there was going to be some loss. They didn't know what it was going to be specifically, and then but the overall net result of that tragedy was that an entire nation of people was able to get more in touch with their compassion and get more in touch with relating to one another and taking care of one another. Because you know, what do British folks like to comment on about British folks is it's like, oh, we don't, stiff upper lip and we don't talk
Yes.
about feelings.
Right.
We don't talk about them at all. That's not something that we do. But Princess Diana just the way that they described it in trance, I remember it was like a lancing of a boil that needed to drain. And sometimes we do go through periods individually in our own lives. We go through it once a year where you go through an unveiling where you're able to see a situation with more clarity. And I kind of feel like that might be a pattern that's like a similar pattern playing out too. And the net result is always positive. And in the meantime, I just pray for as least disruption and at least misery, the least suffering as possible for all people.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Michelle commented again saying, reading these helps me feel grounded while the wheels turn. Amen to that, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And she says, I agree, Tom. That's great. And Jorge shared, I was feeling emotional and negative, but I realized that it's okay to feel what you feel. Absolutely, because you are not your emotions. And I'm thankful overall because God has control of the wheel. Yes, amen. Amen to that. And I hope that you find some relief and some venting and comfort, whatever it is that you need. Tangela says, I used magnets on my toes when I get pain from arthritis, but I rarely use them now, but they used to be extremely sharp pains, I assume is what she's saying. But now they're almost non-existent. That's amazing. Very interesting. Esteban says, somebody asked where the Nuvo planets are, and I believe if my memory serves correctly, Francine said it was in the Bootes system. Thank you so much for that recollection. Okay. I'm filing that away for later. Thank you. I appreciate everyone's, like all of our listeners. You're so intelligent. You've got such amazing memories, and I'm so thankful that you're all here so that we can remember together this amazing trove of knowledge that we've been given the honor of listening to. All right. And then one last question, I suppose, and then we can move on to special prayers. Question from Aaron. Good evening, everyone. How do we know when a lancing of a great issue is going to go down? I don't know. The best I got is Sylvia's predictions. I don't know. And I do recall Francine saying that about once a year for each of us as individuals, we do seem to go through a period of where we see people with more clarity. And it's like an unveiling. And you get a feeling of like, oh man, how did I not see that person's naughty behavior? Oh, how did I not see that red flag? Oh, whoa, what's going on? And I had one of those. I think a lot of people especially noticed that during 2020. It's like we saw how well people were coping and not coping in our lives, and saw people in very, very different, very, very different circumstances, and just for better or worse, just able to see people clearer. So, what I tell God, and then please let's go on to prayers. What I tell God is, please help me see the situation with accuracy as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that I'm not wasting my time. So that's what I got. All right. Special prayers.
Oh, that's me.
Yes. Yay.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to. I'm a little out of sorts at the moment. Trying to make sure we're getting through everything here. What I do encourage for special prayers, picture in your mind Someone that's got a need, whether it's you, it could be someone else, but visualize what the outcome is, what that need is. Again, I've said in the past, if someone has a car that needs repaired, don't ask for money to repair the car. See that car being repaired, or seeing that person getting transportation that they need. See what that outcome is. Visualize that outcome for that person or for yourself. And we're going to ask the Mother Asna, the archetypes, archangels, and even our spirit guides to get out there and twist and turn some knobs to make things happen for those special prayers. So let's take a moment of silence. We're the ones that have to ask for the prayers. We're the ones reaching out, putting that request out. So let's take a moment and visualize what it is that we are asking for. Amen.
Amen.
Let's see. Oh, and of course, posting in the comments, asking for prayers, by all means, that's encouraged. We're always, we pray for those. If you want to do a private prayer request, you can go to our website, novus.org, and post on the prayer chain. Let's see. Oh, and I like to add, be the prayer. If you see a need, fill that.
Amen.
We are promoting. We do that. Oh, the conference number again. That's not being. That's not available at this time. I got to work on providing another tool for that, and that's going to be some evolutionary spare time. When, well, I don't know about you, but my spare time is doing what we're doing right here. So I gotta find some spare time to set that up. It'll be available in the future, but I can't promise when at this moment. Also, let's see. Oh, we did that. Okay, now it's time for trance segments. That's where we're headed next.
Yay, exciting. We're going to talk more about Nuvo, friends. So we're picking up from a trance date of May 9th, 1989 with Francine. And she's going to continue talking about, we're going to hear more about the Bogota Colombia spiritual group, little prediction there. She's going to say that there's more example life entities than mission life entities. She's going to talk about the numbers 44 and 7 and how they repeat in different ways throughout the universe. She's going to talk about Nuvo's rings. And lastly, Earth seems to be the only planet in the universe that has race, culture, and religion. And I have some thoughts on why I think that is. But I really look forward to hearing your thoughts as well. So here we go.
Cool. All right. Here we go.
There's a very large group in South America that you're going to find begins to filter through to you very soon. It's only one of its kind in the world. This group is not nearly as large as you, but it's located in South America, around Bogota. I hope that this insight into these white energies has given you an insight into why you've been tortured and persecuted by some of these dark entities that you never knew before. And when you begin to have this feeling of pressure, because you see, whenever anything good ever rises up, as far as Nuvo is concerned, or Novus, the dark force comes along and smacks it real good. It doesn't want it to survive. Now you say, well, that's easy. I don't want to be part of this. That's ridiculous, because you will be. If you were locked away on an island, you would not be any different than white. And you would try to do something with the monkeys, It's something that is in your soul, not because some monster writes it down on paper and tries to incarcerate you into this, instigate you into this, or draft you into it. Because you can walk out this door tomorrow and still be a perfect and beautiful white entity. It's not where you gather that makes you that. You just happen to all be sitting here now. So, well, how do you know that a dark entity wouldn't wander in? They couldn't. They wouldn't. They would not. Are there any questions about this? Yes.
You said that Nuvo I had a certain number of entities, and you said Nuvo II. You didn't say how many Nuvo II had. Exactly the same? Same number of what?
Much more. I should have done my homework better and gotten the count. But it's far more than Nuvo I. Not because it's any more diminished or that it's not any more significant, but it seems like the example life entities are more numerous than the mission life.
Is there a connection between the number of, you said 44 mission life entities on the lowest level, and
No, the kernel of it.
and the number of currently, you mentioned 44 universes right now. Is there a connection there?
Yes, there seems to be. This number duplicates itself over and over again. Same as the number 7. 44 duplicates and duplicates itself. In the heart of the example is 44, but there's many more on the rings outside, the 7 rings outside, than 220 on each ring. Yes.
I'm very confused, a little, well, not very confused, I'm a little bit confused about, we go to the other side, but we go home first, and then we go to the other side, we go to the other side first, and then we go home.
I'll explain that to you. There is a tunnel. Let's say right at this moment you were to die. Of course you won't. You have too many years, but let's say it for hypothetical. All of a sudden, right in front of you, where you drop, a tunnel begins to appear. No, it's a singular tunnel. It's not in... See, it's almost like a fold-out that you carry in your soul. Instead of the tunnel coming to you, what happens is it springs from you towards the other side. What you do is you check into this Earth's, this planet's other side. You go into the Hall of Wisdom and check in. More, I think, out of courtesy than anything else. And to de-acclimate you. It's almost like I said once, getting nitrogen in your blood from going down too deep. It's a decompression chamber type of thing. Also, this Earth's other side, because it is surrounding the dark planet, cocoons the dark entities right away.
So it's like a deprogramming or a debriefing.
That's right.
So then from there you go...
From there you go directly to your home planet.
Francine, can you please explain to me the rings again?
Have you ever seen a picture of the planet Saturn? You know how the rings, now that is the moons that were broken up. And they created a type of whirling mass. But think of a round planet. And from that spokes, like an atom, in which these golden rings actually have architecture. The rings are very wide. And they're like bridges leading to these rings that house people. In other words, it's only a way to delineate where the person resides, to keep them straight because of their orders of where to go. It sounds very scientific, but it isn't really. In other words, they get their orders directly from God where to go. So there's not a big dome there that speaks to you, but God seems to reside closer to Novus 1 and 2 or Nuvo 1 and 2 than anywhere else. And the rings are golden rings in which these people do reside.
Are the rings related to the levels of our other side of this planet? Or are these physical
Rings.
physical locations?
Physical locations. Now, it would be ridiculous to tell you that the inner circles are not more advanced. Of course they are, but it doesn't mean that anybody on the inner circle does not like anybody on the outer circle. It just simply means that those that have acquired the inner circle, very much like the different levels on the other side, if they are on level 6, in other words, except they don't go to the 7th. In other words, the 7th is where the 44 exist. So, those are the ones, in other words, most of you are on a 6th level ring, is what you're on. When you came here, you couldn't understand why you have to be, anyone in here, a different color, a different group. You see, races are unknown on any other planet except this one. There's no such thing as, the word race doesn't even mean anything anywhere else. If it meant anything and interpreted, they think you were running. You come into this planet imbued with all the beauty and light, but you don't even know why you could be a different race, a different creed, because it's unknown on Nuvo. There's no such thing as race or creed. See, that's all man-made. That's all genetic man-made. Unfortunately, this is the only planet that knows of it. There's no other planet that even knows what the word culture means. There's not any word to, when we're talking about being guides to this planet, we talk to other guides, we don't even know how to communicate with them anymore. When we have to use words such as creed, religion, races, they say interpret for me. We don't know how to interpret that. There's no, it would be like if I said frazzle doodle. You said, what is that like? And I said, I don't have anything to compare it to. Then we couldn't speak. You said, I mean, in other words, there's no comparison. Then you have to go through the whole thing. Well, you see, on this planet, they come down in different colors. They also come down with different places in which they go and worship God. And the other entities say to us, I'm sorry, I don't understand. So we have a tremendous difficulty in trying to explain ourselves. Yes?
In the case of where the fuse rises and then the dark smacks it down, I guess mainly my concern, like with Sylvia, how can you protect? I mean, she's so good at helping people. How can you protect her from the dark coming and smack her again?
They won't, Michael. We just won't allow it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Francine, we chart our life, and we have, because we're mission entities, we have a lot of lateral movement. Do we have a lot of lateral movement because we're trying to turn more gray entities white, and we're trying to become more spiritual?
Yes.
So we guide ourselves where we're needed.
Absolutely. And not only that, but I'll tell you what is even more amazing about that is when you gather together, and I'll tell you, you gain more power. And I'm not trying to make you stick together because I wouldn't do that. But unless you stick together, you won't be able to gain the power you need. That's why it's so important that Novus stays together.
There we go. Which I was recalling about, helping a gray entity turn white. Yes, this is like full circle now. Yes, she had been encouraging us to help with gray entities. I'm not discouraging helping with it. However, later in time, later in the trances, which would be, what relevance am I trying to get at here? What we've recently heard, she has said, I recall she has said, don't bother with them, just help yourself and take care of yourself. yes, we're back at the very beginning of her with these organized informational trances. Yes, we were encouraged to help whoever, not and not the dark entities, not the dark souled entities, because we can't help. They don't want the help anyway. It's helping with the gray entities. You choose for yourself what you want to do as far as who you want to help and who is asking for help. That's another one. Who is asking for the help? So yes, you're going to hear some adjustments and evolution of ideas, just to give you context of this was the beginning of the trance, and then it evolves into later times that we have heard recently in our past. Because we're going full circuit. We started at the beginning again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tricky. I think that there is no judgment whatsoever if someone does not want to try to work on a gray entity, and I don't think there's any judgment if someone does want to try to work on them, but in one way or the other. But I think that if I were to prepare like a suggestion kit to someone, like let's say that they had their heart set on really trying to like turn this one person around, what I'd say a few points. One is, please don't do it at the sake of your own spirituality and your own sense of self and your own goals that you want to do for yourself. This is something that hopefully with love and time, this person will come around. Like, that's number one. Like, make sure that you stay underneath your own dome of experience and don't get sucked into whatever drama this other person might be stirring up one way or the other. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. We can read like thousands of articles online about dealing with a narcissist in our lives, and it's very, very difficult because they will pull you in and just suck all of the
energy
right on out of you. It feels like oh man.
And you may think or feel that you're accomplishing something, and you're not.
Yeah, so you have to really. So my number one thing I would tell people, if that is something that they have their heart set on for trying to help someone with, is like clear boundaries. Be real with yourself about your boundaries. Be real with yourself about your energy levels, and don't forsake your own spirituality and just like completely cave over into trying to caretake and like just tug this other person along. If it seems like they are getting better, also great. That's good to know. That's good to see. But if it seems like they are really reacting to the injustice that they're experiencing in their own lives, that's setting them down a darker path. Like, you need to really, really be aware of your own safety, your own energy levels, and don't do that alone. Just don't do that alone.
An example could be somebody that helping someone that continually asks for help from everybody else, and they never want to take a step forward. Whether they ask for money or they ask for physical help.
Yeah.
Setting a boundary could be like not going out of your way, just providing, if they're asking for some kind of help, give them a seed, give them the seed of the idea, how to adjust who they are and how they see things. Give them the seed and let them decide for themselves. If someone's always knocking on your door for the cup of sugar, well, okay. If they're doing that every day, well, guess what? They haven't learned.
Yeah.
If they're doing that, every 3 months, okay, that's a little different. But you got to make that choice of, hey, have they learned their lesson or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And ask your guide. If you're not sure, ask your guide to help you see whether you're overstepping, whether they're drawing you in, or you're honestly, you may be honestly helping, but are they dragging you in and draining you?
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, beautifully said. So,
Any comments?
yes, we've got lots of comments. And also, I do want to talk briefly about culture because I had a thought about this.
Do it.
People,
Do it.
okay. So my thought about culture, and then I'll read the comments. I was thinking about. I'm like, we have heard trances where they've talked about what essentially the cultures are on some of the other planets. Like we heard that Sirius, in that direction, it's very desert-like and more simplistic and agricultural, agrarian, whereas Andromeda is very, very tech-heavy. And we've also heard about a prison planet briefly. We've heard about some different places that essentially have a different culture. And so I thought this was very, very interesting that on other planets, they don't really relate to that word. And I was like, what is going on with that? That is so wild. And I was thinking about an idea that popped in my head was when we talk about culture, it comes from often from a place of pride, and it's in contrast to having experienced as a group being put down or being attempted to be put down.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a pride sense that comes attached to talking about cultures. Like, this is something beautiful. This is something lovely. This is what we're able to describe about this. And this is what culture looks like. But there's always, it feels like to me that there's like, it's with this backdrop of friction that is sometimes very, very dark about how other people have come in and tried to destroy that particular brand of light.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have come back and said, no, this is who we are. This is our brand of light. This is what we have, accumulated over, like generations and generations and generations, that this is the culture and you are not going to put us down. And so there's like this spring back effect that I think has happened for a lot of us to say, no, this is our culture. And it can even be a family culture, it can be national culture, it can be ethnic culture. So there's a lot of different ways that it can be there. But I think that we have an awareness of that because we have gone through so many of those like attempts at persecution on us that the self has to, and us as a group in our different groups have had to stand up and say, no, you're not going to tear down the good things that we have going here. That was the thought that I had, because it doesn't sound like other planets have wars and all that to make that springboard effect have to happen. And that was the thought that I had. I was like, why? Like, they sound like they have culture, but they don't talk about it. What's going on with that? And I think that's why. It's because they don't have the persecution patterns that we have had.
Yeah.
About our different brands of positivity. So
and
that was the thought that I had.
And that, to me, that's what makes this planet, well, the best and the worst, as it were.
Yeah.
Another avenue for conflict. I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
What are
some
people
comments? Yes. So people are saying, Dee shares, don't forget to surround them grays with white light and imagine a purple cloth covering their mouth to reduce them from speaking negativity. Very well said. Ramona says, oh man, that's what happened to with my ex. I even know he was stunting my spiritual growth. Oh, so many people have gone through that. And yeah, there's no judgment. Yeah, but good on you for being able to recognize it and get out. Thomas says, The dark don't want any help in my experience. They are what they are, and move on with your own life and take care of yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Esteban says, my mother is a gray and my father is a dark entity. It's been a roller coaster for sure. Oh, God bless. Yikes. I had a great grandparents where one was a dark entity who just did awful, awful things. And his wife, my great grandmother, was a gray entity, and she was a peach to deal with as well. So, God bless you, Esteban. You are such a light. I'm glad that you are who you are. Let's give you a hug if I could. Goodness. Joan says, I agree, Tom. As Sylvia did say, to take care of ourselves later in other sessions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, Ron shows up from said hello on Facebook. Hi, Ron. Super long time listener. So wonderful. Garden says, they're users, and as soon as I realize I'm being taken advantage of, I scrape them off my shoe like gum and walk away. Good for you.
Go. Yeah.
Good for you. Reverend Cass says, don't forget about the angels. Absolutely. Jorge says, I believe it's because this planet has humans and beings from many different planets. On another note, the USA has deep racism, whereas in European and other countries, it's not as deep as in America. I feel like the swamp factor here on the East Coast does this thing that just makes the atmosphere in America in certain parts just like super, super thick, and it just resonates really well with negativity. Ugh. And Michelle shares, last comment here, Michelle says, Chris told me my friend was a gray. After I threw him out, we became even better friends, and now he's caregiving. Wow, talk about a turnaround. Oh, God bless. That's marvelous to hear. I'm glad that happened. If anyone is curious, what Francine has said is the thing that turns a gray white is unconditional love. You can do with that what you will. And the thing that turns them dark is when they start feeling like injustice has been done to them. So those are the two main things that pull them from one side to the other. Not easy to deal with. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your wonderful comments. Look forward to hearing more and having more conversation with you as we go on.
Cool.
Do you have anything, or shall we move on to the next segment?
Let's go to the next.
Got it. So, next segment. Sticking together helps you gain power. Some entities move back and forth between example life and mission life entities. On Nuvo II, there's 12,000 people across the various rings of Nuvo II, with 44 specifically at the center. Sylvia had 54 past lives before her current public one, and all evil in the universe seems to radiate from our solar system.
So we're the dark light in the sky. All right, here we go.
Cool.
And not only that, but I'll tell you what is even more amazing about that is when you gather together, and I'll tell you, you gain more power. And I'm not trying to make you stick together because I wouldn't do that. But unless you stick together, you won't be able to gain the power you need. That's why it's so important that Novus stays together. Mission, example, live entities, and we laugh about it when we're home, is we usually don't do anything, and it seems to be a challenge to us until everything seems to be almost unsavable. And then we arrive. We're like the cavalry.
Is the Nuvo II structured the same way with 7 rings?
Absolutely. Now, the more enterprising entities move back and forth from example to mission.
So they give both sides of the coin. Well, I suppose you could have a mission and examples. Case in point.
Now, there are thousands upon thousands. To answer your question, I have gotten information right now that there's 1,200 on each ring in the example.
Is there a kernel that's different?
44%.
So both kernels are 44.
220 on each one.
That's a voltage in 1,200.
1,200.
On the rings exactly? Each ring has exactly 1,200.
Oh, no, that's what was allotted to those rings. Rings are nothing more but the delineation of where people work and do. This is more of a, like I said, on this Earth's other side, you don't walk upstairs and they're sitting on a certain step of, you all work in this office together, let's say. There's no difference. There might be a secretary and a business manager, but you don't look any different in the aspect that you're dressed different or, you carry around you your expertise.
Now, don't the populations change as one chooses to evolve towards...
Oh, yes, but they all go back to their home base. It's the only way for your finite mind. Nobody stands on the ring and says, are there 1,200 of us, now we'll go to sleep? No.
From there, then, where will we be going listening to Nuvo 1 and 2? After this?
Most of you are not going to go anywhere after this one. This is just about done most of you in as far as going into planetary lives. This is probably one of the hardest challenges that any Nuvoite has experienced. This planet has. And see, this is a planet by which all evil comes from. You're here. You're in the kernel of the home base.
So then what will be productive from just staying at the base, their home, and not going to...
Oh, you'll visit other planets. You'll help with research. You're constantly... You see, there are trillions of other planets that you go and visit and maybe even eventually want to incarnate to. But you'll never, ever come back down here again. And most of you have spent too many lifetimes as it is trying to wade through it. You see, when you come into, as an example, in a mission life, you just don't do one life. You build up over a period of time to get ready for the last onslaught. You go through the whole school in order to acclimate yourself to the planet until you come into full power. So most of you have had 30 lives, 40 lives, some 50 lives to get ready for the big one. Sylvia had 54 lives before she dared to walk out on this stage of life and say, I'm going to start a religion. 54 lives she had to do.
And it was an option life, too.
But most of you are option lives. Yes.
When this planet implodes, will there be a dark planet anymore?
Oh, yes. It'll rotate around again. I'll tell you what I do know, though I don't know the count, but the black is getting less, and that's the first time in the history of anything that anyone knows that it's getting less. At one point during what you might call the period of the Middle Ages, it was in full swing, and the whole system of the universe was upset. There has been killings on this planet that no entity's ever heard of anywhere.
Do that again.
Do what again?
This planet has roughly 75 years. Then the sun goes nova, it fries, and it's not usable for life any longer. Does that negate the black planet?
No.
So who now is the black planet?
Then in this solar system, Mercury, I think, is the next one that goes through the Ice Age.
Mercury is right now in inner ring, therefore.
It goes through the hot, just as the Earth did.
Real hot, right?
And then it goes through the Ice Age. It swings out and then moves into position to be able to acclimate life.
Okay, so
Then the protozoas and the parameciums and the amoebas begin. And you want me to go through the whole?
No, James, really, right up to pizza. Okay, so this solar system is the noir.
Yes, the whole solar system.
What physical agent makes those planets switch? That's astronomically something we can't figure out unless God has a little stick and he goes, pop, and the planet jumps to an orbit.
It's already been pre-planned. It's like a computerized program.
See? I mean, just one day you blink your eyes and all the planets have shifted, or is it?
No, it's an evolving thing. It evolves slowly. This planet took trillions and trillions of years before it got to the point that that entities could come down into life form and sustain itself.
And that's nothing to a spirit.
Nothing.
But I still don't understand how physically it happens. I mean, if I want this chair,
It's programmed by God. It's on a program.
Francine, it's a cycle that constantly.
And constantly, and hopefully each time that cycle rotates, there becomes less dark entities. That's the whole process. Oh yes, it begins all over again. Each time what we're finding out, though, is becoming less. You see, the battle's not won till the end. That's why everybody's up in arms about Armageddon. Well, they have it right in one sense. That's when the battle is either somebody raises a flag, and we certainly don't want it to be the dark. Because many times before, in the evolution of this, they've raised it, not only in this time of this planet, but nothing's over till it's over. About 2.5 billion years ago, the planet was won totally for dark.
which planet?
This one, which was really where Venus used to be. It's a rotation, as she said, it's a rotation of, and then it's supernovas, and then it goes out again. Another planet takes its place, still known as Earth, though, or Noir, depending on where you are. What keeps everything hanging in the vacuum of space?
Newton's laws of mechanics, motion. Yeah, that's the standard astronomical equation.
And who do you think made Newton? No matter, I know what you're doing. You're trying to explore the physics of this, and that's perfectly right and just.
I don't see how a physical force can pop planets. I just understand how that happens.
Gravitational pull. How is Pluto sitting there? How is Mercury making its rounds?
Rapid.
No, seriously, what is it?
Seriously, it's faster, and Mercury's there, I mean, Pluto's very slow. And then how does it go from inner ring to outer ring? What hits it? What moves it? What changes?
Right now, your planet is careening towards the sun.
Yes, we are falling toward the sun, that's true.
Well, now you accept that.
Yes,
What's making it fall towards the sun?
rapid.
That's what I just said a few minutes ago. Yes.
When the polar tilt happens and the Earth changes its rotation and revolution, that's going to change the gravity
Of all the other
everything
planets.
else, and that's what changes
The rotation.
you know,
Yes.
their positions and.
Shocks them. Absolutely.
I was just gonna suggest, and then that person spoke up and just gave the right concept. It's everything is interrelated as far as gravity. Everybody affects everybody else. All the other planets affect each other, and when we have a polar tilt, that adjusts things. The challenge is, as humans and in our human lifetime, I think we can't see the pattern of movement that would show or predict the changes of the planets in their in their orbital status. But eventually they change.
Yes. I am trying to find something. I'm trying to find the physics term for this particular thing. And I can't find it, but Neil deGrasse Tyson has talked about it. There's an idea in physics where if they try to calculate the like do all the calculations of how two bodies in space, you've got a planet over here, a moon over here, and how are they going to interact? Like they can handle, you can handle the calculations of two bodies. But the second that you put in a third body, it apparently turns into such a just mind-bendingly complicated, endlessly, freakishly complicated situation that it's basically like impossible to calculate it. And like they call it the three-body problem.
Uh-huh.
You cannot calculate three things in space interacting with each other, and then it's impossible. Just with
And
three.
how many planets do we have around us?
Do we have? Exactly. So, we do know now, like 30 years later, I guess this trance was 35 years ago. We know now that Mars looks like it had oceans on it. We know that Venus seems to have some volatility on it that raises questions about if it was in a different orbit at some point.
Right.
They also found that Mercury is in a state where they think it's actually a lot bigger than it has looked originally, and that it's all like the tectonic plates are like all jumbled up, and that gets into a different orbit, it'll flatten out and turn into an Earth-sized sphere.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and I recall Francine saying that our scientists think they can look out in a telescope and determine the diameter of a planet, and she says they're wrong.
Yeah, she said they're wrong. It's like, ooh.
So,
yeah,
that's also another influence to scientists learning to predict where things are going. I had another point, and it was whoosh. Oh well, maybe it'll come back.
Okay. Well.
Oh, I know what.
Please.
Think of all the objects we're throwing into space, creating orbits with them. How does that affect this planet? I'm boggled by the whole idea of the orbits and orbits, putting things out in orbit and they'll stay there. It boggles my mind. There's special places that scientists like to put satellites because they're a unique spot that's consistent relative to the moon. Is one that there's a spot where you can drop something and it will stay there. Plus the fact, the other one is the moon doesn't rotate.
Yeah.
The moon, we've always seen the same side of the moon all the time.
Yeah.
What was the other? Putting stuff. Well, anyway, I keep distracting myself with ideas, but yeah, all of that fun stuff is
fascinating.
Cool. Comments, or should we get to the next?
Yeah, we've got a couple comments. Ramona says, I can almost visualize Nuvo's rings, but with architecture? What? How cool is this information? Yeah. So what I might suggest, Ramona, is in sci-fi, because sci-fi artists do marvelous things with infusion, look up a ring planet. And you'll see these concept drawings of how there might be a ring around a star, and that people live on the rings. They're just flat and wide, and people. So we've had concept artists do some pretty impressive, beautiful visualizations. So that's what I think is the closest that I can get to visualizing it too. So yeah. There's buildings on there, there's architecture, there's trees, sounds like there's mountains, sounds like there's, features. Really, really just breathtakingly beautiful. I can't hardly find words for what's in my mind, but yeah. Esteban says, it's amazing to me that some comic book artists have drawn life on other planets, and it's like they are trying to tell us their experiences, so to speak. Yeah, life continues to manifest itself in the universe. Mm-hmm. Kristen says, it's also mind-blowing as physics doesn't seem to apply like we know it. There's so much more to understand about physics, is what I keep coming to the conclusion of. It's like we keep peeling an onion layer just to get to the next layer, just to find out that there's more layers underneath, and it just keeps going and going and going.
And then you add miracles into that.
And you add miracles into it.
Unexplained
Yes.
things.
Mm-hmm. Which is a different part of physics. That's how I view miracles, is because everything in the universe has to have been created by God, including physics, including all the things that happen in one dimension versus another dimension versus another dimension versus spiritual dimension, whatever. And so the other side has its own physics and can pop in, do something on our side. We experience it as a miracle, but it's just another part of God's endless ability to say, yes, this is what's possible. Physics. It's amazing. Just amazing.
One more comment.
The D says, I am so grateful and thankful for this community of like-minded individuals and get the same feeling of fellowship when I watch these videos on replay. Oh,
Good. Thank you.
I'm so happy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right back at you. All right. So our last segment. Some words on how to spot dark entities. Most younger people coming in, like incarnating, are white these days, and many are warriors without a war to fight. And then some comments on when gray entities turn white or dark. So continuing that conversation.
All right, here we go.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm a little confused now. Who goes just to the Earth's other side?
Everyone. Does everyone stay? No. All of you won't stay. Can you really discern it that much different from Nuvo's other side? No, all other sides look the same. It just means you wouldn't want to stay on this Earth's other side because you don't know anybody. You don't
Hobnob.
as much as you do your Nuvoite brothers and sisters, so to speak. But all white entities end up on Earth's other side. Black entities are cocooned and then shot right down into another vehicle. They're never allowed to get past first quadrant. Yes.
When Adriana was saying to me, let me show you where you walk, and Mom saw my father, were we viewing this other side, or were we viewing
Nuvo's other side. If you went to any planet in Andromeda, you would not be able to know unless after you die, you know exactly where Nuvo or Novus 1 and 2 are. You know exactly because it has the golden rings around it. Yes.
If the other side of this planet is a perfect duplicate of this planet, is the other side of Nuvo that have
Yes, mountain ranges, yes.
Or is it more of a...
Oh yes, you see, for as bad as, it has to be, for as bad as Noir is, as good as Nuvo is. See, the dark entities wanted this planet to look exactly like Nuvo. It's supposed to have been a silver spider web, in other words, to attract. It's a fake-fronted Walt Disneyland.
This is all facade. This is all fairyland.
Yes.
This is not what we think we see.
No, that's why Sylvia was so very infused that day at the whole life when she said this world is dying of cancer.
So this is an illusion.
It's an illusion.
So when you speak of the Great Divide and the Pacific Ocean and how green it's getting over there as this planet is dying, because I guess I'm having a hard time with my finite mind duplicating what you're telling me. So does it or does it not resemble this Earth here?
Through your eyes.
Yeah, through my eyes. Okay, gotcha. Now I'm with you now.
Yes. Yes.
How do you tell a dark entity? Is there any group connection?
They make commitments they cannot keep. They play mind games. They are not steadfast. They say one thing and live another. They don't stick by their principles. They don't have many principles. They are in for their own comfort and their own power. They're tremendously into graft and greed. They will do anything to save their own skin. They're incapable of loving themselves or anyone else, but they make such a good show of it. Don't ever think that a baby can't come in dark. That's what people have a hard time. That's what people have a hard time. Of all the things that we have a hard time understanding is a dark entity coming in. Now what's strange is white entities will come through dark. Yes.
Is my ex-husband a dark? Is
Gray.
gray?
Gray.
Is he turning white or dark?
He's going to stay gray. Yes.
Francine, what is happening to the children coming up? Because in education, we're told that there are many, children coming up with drug parents. What are they going to be classified as? Grays, darks that come in?
Strangely enough, most of the entities coming in now are white. They have to. The entities that came in right before that are the warring entities. The tragedy is with most entities now, the younger people came in as warriors without a war to fight, and that's the most tragic thing. They wanted to fight a war and they didn't know. That was one of the problems that was wrong with your son, who was such a wonderful entity. He had a war to fight, he couldn't fight it, so he went into a racing car and tried to do it that way.
And I was going to ask you, we are from Nuvo, are relatives all from the same place?
No. Oh, good Lord, no. Sometimes your relatives cannot be from the same place. In fact, white entities will come into a whole group of dark entities. Yes.
Can dark entities turn white?
No.
Well, how then can...
You're saving the gray.
Okay, but then...
You know how Nuvo has its example and mission? The black entities have their example and mission.
So then is the fight for white and darkness to turn the grays white or dark?
The only thing you're fighting over is the grays. And there's millions of those.
Now the grays, can they turn
Either way.
and they go white or go back to green?
They go white, they never go gray. It's when they're gray that you're fighting over.
Can they go dark and then go back gray?
No. Once they go black, that's it. And once they go white, that's it. But a black entity, the main ones, the same as mission life entities, are the blackest of black, and they're the head bunco squad. This is their home planet.
Like the white corpus.
The white corpuscles fighting. And you see, even Carl Symington, the doctor, came upon that when he said, let's get the white knights to fight the dark knights. And he didn't even know what he was talking about, but he did. Yes.
Francine, when a gray entity dies, what happens to them on the other side?
Well, they go to the other side and they walk around and they incarnate fairly shortly afterwards, then come in and stay gray, but eventually, towards the end of a planet's life, at least this planet, you see this fight's going on throughout other planets, not like this one, I guarantee you. But they have to decide eventually whether they're going to stay gray. Then they can't stay gray, I mean, whether black or white. And if they don't, then they go on to another planet and Some take so very long to make up their mind.
So the only place they can turn white is incarnated on a planet.
Yes. Yes, they turn light in life. Bright, brilliant. Yes,
Who decides when an entity will be reincarnated again?
they do. The entity does.
Black or the white?
No, the entity itself does. You yourself will make up the choice of what you want to do. The guides can help you, counsel can counsel you, the archetypes can be with you, but you yourself pick from your own theme what you should, or what themes you've yet to do.
But if there isn't enough vehicles, and there's maybe 100
Then you go to another planet. Oh, there's enough vehicles. Always a vehicle. Always. You might have to wait a little longer for the right train, so to speak, but you get the right vehicle.
Which fascinates me to think of the diversity of experiences that are available for someone to pick and choose where they'd want to go to incarnate, be born into some family somewhere, somewhere on this planet. You're muted, by the way, so I'll finish
Sure
my
am.
comment.
Please do.
We are hearing a lot about, the word dark soul, dark entities, and black. This is a reference to soul color, not skin color. Again, I want to make sure people are clear on that. It's how it's been presented to us, and yes, we understand culturally around us it can sound offensive. This is strictly about soul color. Mean, evil people versus nice, positive, encouraging, helpful people. And then there's the grays. They're the ones that haven't made their decision, haven't decided whether they want to be nice or mean. If I'm pointing the right way, I don't want to switch that up and confuse people either. But I'm swinging my hands if you're just listening to me. So it's just that the grays haven't made up their mind, and this is a place that there encourages them or influences them one way or another. That's and it's that's going to be unique. A thought came to mind. Why are they coming here if this is such a difficult place? And maybe we'll get to hear about it. I speculate it might be either they wanted the challenge, or this is going to definitely make them choose one way or the another because this is such a difficult planet. The challenge for us is as a positive, loving entity, this negativity travels easier on this planet, so we tend to have to work harder at accomplishing or protecting ourselves or helping others. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. It'll be fun to hear what other people might learn about and what we review. Well, for me, it's a review, going back through these, what others get to learn here in the near future.
I recall a couple of things, and also we get a question from someone on Facebook, so I'll go through those here as we wrap up. So I recall us being told that some gray entities do not incarnate on Earth specifically because they're afraid that they're going to be lured in, and they're just like, I just haven't decided, but that seems like a whole hot mess that I don't need rushing me into a choice. So there's that aspect. And additionally, I now just pieced together something that she said in this trance that we listened to tonight, that she said that the darkness, the dark entities kind of display wealth and things here as being like a silver net in order to entice and to trap. So if you're someone who's looking at okay, well, maybe I need to start incarnating to figure out if I'm going to be white or if I'm going to be dark, I don't know. But hey, that looks nice. Look at all this wealth. Look at all this fun. Look at these fast cars. Look at these nice, attractive people. This looks kind of fun. that's like the shiny silver light, right? That
Yeah.
can really trap people into that materialism that leads them on towards greed and unfortunately a darker path. So so I think that's what I think Francine was saying there when she made that comment. And then the question that we had over on Facebook is somebody asked, what about twin flames? And it's been a couple years since I've heard this term. But it's not a term that we've used in Novus Spiritus. We've heard Sylvia's spirit guides talk about soulmates, and specifically what Francine and Sylvia and Rahim have all said about soulmates and about finding a partner is that we do not incarnate with our soulmates, because otherwise we would be so emotionally invested in one another that it would be hard to focus on our own personal growth and spiritual lessons. So I know that some spiritual groups in other areas of the internet do talk about, do use that term twin flames. It's not something that we talk about here, and they specifically have described it as being soulmate is someone that was basically paired, created right along with you, and at the very, very start of creation, and we are very close on the other side, but not attached to the hip, because the individual is where our personal growth is. And instead, what we try to encourage is that you should try to find a kindred spirit who is somebody that we get along with really, really well. It's maybe not a 9 out of 10, but oh man, that'd be amazing if it was. But it could be like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. That's someone who we get along with really well, have a lot of shared values, shared experiences, and that's something you can have a lot of happiness with and still be able to do your own personal growth. And that's really what Novus really encourages people to do, is to respect each individual, to find what is individually going to really nourish your soul, and that's on the individual. It's not someone else's responsibility. So I hope that helps.
So that's our definition of soulmate. You can call your partner your soulmate if you like. It's just that's the definition of for Novus, and the ideas that are shared. That's the definition of soulmate.
Mm-hmm. All right. And if you are curious about having a life reading, definitely check out chrisrightnow.com to see what Chris might have to say, because he is really, really good at offering love advice. My goodness, and finding offering timing on a partner, and that can be very, very helpful. So just something to consider. Thank you so much for your questions.
And he will remind you, you've got to get out if you want something to activate.
Get out the door. Darn it.
Mr. or Mrs. Wright isn't going to knock on your door.
Anyway. Darn it.
And yes, I still, it's still a reminder for me. It's not just about a partner. It's about what experiences that you want to have. What do you want to experience? What do you want to accomplish? Are you going to do that with other people? Then yes, they're not going to knock on your door. I need to get out and socialize, and then we'll meet. It'll be one of those coincidences, as it were. We'll meet. Okay, now it's time for meditation. And we do encourage people to sit with their feet flat on the floor and your palms upward on your lap to receive that wonderful healing and rejuvenation. For everyone else that needs to pay attention to what you're doing, don't pay attention to us, but by all means come back and listen to these wonderful meditations in the on-demand. For the rest of us, we are going to enjoy this.
Find a comfortable place to sit with your feet flat on the floor and your palms upward on your lap. Now, take take 3 deep breaths to start relaxing the mind and the body. Now close your eyes when you are ready.
The road map. I want you to visualize a map with many roads. I want you to mentally stand up and look down on that map along those lines. You see your grade school years, that awkward growing up time, rejection, lost loves, some gained loves, maybe your high school or college, and perhaps a marriage or a time of independence. Stand where you are and see how your road has unfolded. See how it forks, bends, and turns. Now put yourself into your life where you are now. The length behind you does not matter, but what does matter is what you will do with the length in front of you. Look behind you and see how far you've come. See how strong you've been in putting up with the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, and the infamy that you've had to put up with, the scandal, hurts, and injustices. Say to yourself now, the only sin in all the universe is not being good to myself. Love yourself and be good to yourself, because only then can you be good to everyone else. Resolve to stop feeling unworthy or not good enough. No one should feel that way, because we are all genetically part of God. If there is any evil, that is it. You defaming you. Yet how easy it is to fall into that trap. Negativity is a slime of the earth. It grows as easily as mildew after rain. It is imperative to breathe fresh, clean air, because you are a child, an instrument, the moving hand of God. See your map, your road. You charted it out. So smile through it. Love and commit yourself along the way. Feel the breath of air from God filling your lungs, renewing your tired body. Forgive yourself now and feel forgiveness for as long as you wish. Being in the body is a terrible strain because your soul bangs against it, but you will thrive. Feel the hope and love that arise from standing together with hands outstretched. Feel the energy right through the bottoms of your feet, rising through your entire being and shining out through your head.
Now, on the count of 3, come all the way back. 1, 2, 3, fully and totally awake. Find a comfortable place to...
Didn't stop. Sometimes I can't tell. But, yeah, exactly. That's, talk about emotional release over time.
Absolutely. And being kind to ourselves and how we talk about ourselves.
Yeah, that's I find that challenging as well, reminding myself
That's hard.
to I've had to stop and reflect and say, okay, if I'm friend challenged, am I a friend to myself? And what can be changed to that?
It's real. Yeah.
Other than that, if you have any questions about what we shared, feel free to post in chat or email us questions to newspirit@novus.org. Of course, we appreciate listeners, both live and on demand. We're not done yet because we got something else coming up. However, show your appreciation for New Spirit Radio by sharing, liking, and subscribing as I have asked. Check out our websites, novus.org, sylviabrowne.com, and Chris Right Now got not dread what? Let's reverse that. chrisrightnow.com. Thank you. Yes, you'll find us on Facebook because I know some of you are there, and we are also on YouTube. What else do I want to share? Well, hey, you can learn more about our philosophy by starting a study group. And also, church services on the first Sunday of the month. You can watch a Sunday service recording on Facebook and YouTube. They are classics by Larry and classics with Larry and Sylvia. There's one coming up this Sunday. Also, for first Sundays in person, there is in-person or live stream Sunday service in Las Vegas that's hosted by our Reverend Ellen Schloss. To get invited, post your email on the website and you should get an invitation. The last Sunday of the month, you can participate in a special Sunday Zoom service that is also hosted by our Reverend Ellen Schloss. That, again, put your email on the website and you should get an invitation. Now's the time for that special prayer ceremony we call a novena. You may have recalled, and for new people, Francine and Raheem and Sylvia have told us, shared with us, we are a spark of the divine. That's where our soul originated from. With that, we have a prayer ceremony where we are going to say a phrase 3 times together, and then I'll tell you what to ask. And we're going to do that 3 times. The phrase is, I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. It's a mantra, phrase, whatever you want to call it. It goes along with our tenet number 10 that says, let no one convince you that you are less than a God. Do not let fear imprison your spiritual growth. So what I'd like you to do is visualize, regardless of when you're watching this or listening to this, that we're all gathered together, holding hands in a huge circle, in a huge room, or maybe in the middle of space, whatever you like. We're all holding hands together and we're saying this at the same time. We're saying it together. And I'll lead us off. So say it with me. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now ask for things for yourself. Okay, here's the second one. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now, ask for things for others. And the last one, here we go. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now, picture our light going out like a beacon of light for others seeking this spiritual knowledge. Think of something you appreciate from last week so you can carry that thought through next week to help keep you mentally appreciative, positive, and uplifted. Now, show your appreciation to Francine and Raheem for researching all of this wonderful knowledge, Sylvia for coming to this insane asylum of the universe to start this movement, and for showing us how to get some peace of mind and grace while we're here, Asna for helping us and protecting us, and Father God for providing the most prestigious school for us to experience, learn, and satisfy our unique spark of curiosity. Appreciate Bob Ingle for some of the graphics and audio, and especially Sammy Sweet Spirit and Javon for our wonderful theme music, our intro outros. Writing, setup, and hosting is Reverend Catherine Taylor. Editing, technical direction, and hosting is Reverend Tom Bigley. And now a prayer by Sylvia. And write in the comments what you benefited from, how you feel about this show. While I find our pieces here. Oh, yeah. You're a chatty Cathy over there, I hear. On the keyboard.
Yes. Sorry.
All right, here's a prayer by Sylvia.
Prayer for each other. Dear God, I pray that we be strong and wise and courageous. Let us be ready, O God, to fight the terrible darkness of a lonely night. Our shield is our faith and knowledge in you. We shall face many adversities in this arena of life. Those watching us may shout heretic or saint, but the truth is known only to us and you. We stand before you, dearest sweet God. Please do not remove thy hand. We do not care for glory or fame. We're only the plumage that carries your name. We do not fear false ego or vainglory or wealth. We simply pray for enough time to teach and guide others in their search for soul's perfection. We shall keep this great truth in mind as we deal with others. I am glad that I am me, and I am glad that you are you. Help us, dear God, to pull others along, and maybe then they will feel the presence of your presence walking beside them. Amen.
And Kat's going to tell us.
Be proud of yourself for getting through this crazy world and this crazy life. Love you very much. See you next week.
See you.
For so long we have ignored you as if you were not there. All praise went to the Father. We were so unaware that through the years you've shed your tears for all the pain we bear. Oh, Asna, how we love you. Place no one above you. Always thinking of you. Bless your name. You are Mother God. You've planted every blade of grass, creator of the stars. And when I'm feeling down and out, you mend my broken heart. So now I sing this song of thanks because of who you are. Oh, Asna, how we love you. Place no one above you. Always thinking of you. Bless your name. You are Mother God. You're more than a friend to me. You give me everything I need. In your peace you hold me tight. You are the bringer of the light. With no fear we boldly stand. Because you hold this world in your hands. You are the truth. You are the hope and love we never knew. Oh, Asna, how we love you. Place no one above you. Always thinking of you. Bless your name. You are Mother God.